Welcome to Math Science History. I'm Gabrielle Birchak, your host. In today's episode, I give a historical account about the life of Haiti's first female physician, Dr. Yvonne Sylvain, who fought for maternal care, cancer screening, and modern medical practices in the 20th century. But first, a quick word from my advertisers. This month, we are celebrating Women's History Month, and this week, I am celebrating Podcasthon. Podcasthon is a fundraising event for podcasters around the world to raise awareness for charitable causes. This flashcard episode is a follow-up to Tuesday's episode, wherein I had the honor of interviewing Angie Maldonado, the founder of Espwa Means Hope. This very meaningful organization helps women and children in Haiti access healthcare and education. So please feel free to go back and listen to that very moving interview that I had with Angie on Tuesday. Needless to say, this week encompasses two powerful stories about two women across the span of time who truly understand what happens when health and education hold steady and what happens when they do not. Dr. Sylvain was a Haitian physician whose life illuminates both what Haiti was capable of building and how fragile those achievements became under repeated structural disruption. Sylvain's work helped this precarious society and its relationship with health and education. Sylvain stood precisely at the intersection of both, someone who understood intimately that medicine is not only about bodies and education is not only about schools. Sylvain's story is that of someone who lived within that precarious society. Dr. Sylvain was born on June 28, 1907, in Port-au-Prince, Haiti. She was the daughter of Georges Sylvain, a lawyer, diplomat to France, author, and Haitian poet who wrote in native Creole. In addition to his work as a lawyer and author, he was the leader of the resistance movement opposing the American occupation of Haiti. In an article from the Haiti Sun dated 1955, the author writes that Sylvain's maternal grandmother engaged in the resistance alongside her father in the 1880s during the American occupation. Additionally, her maternal grandfather, also involved in the long French resistance, was a signer of Haiti's Declaration of Independence from France. So, Sylvain was born into a family deeply engaged in Haitian intellectual, diplomatic, and cultural life. Thus, the island of Hispaniola had seen centuries of occupation, and her family had experienced generations of resistance. Yvonne Sylvain grew up during a period of intense political pressure, including the United States occupation of Haiti, which began in 1915 and lasted until 1934. This occupation, like the French occupation, reshaped Haitian governance, finance, and institutions, including education and public health, often prioritizing control and extraction over local capacity building. So Sylvain came from a well-educated family. Her father taught her and her 6 siblings Latin, and they were required to speak it at home. 3 of Sylvain's siblings went on to earn PhDs in areas including anthropology, architecture, and plant physiology. Sylvain's early education took place in Haiti, where she attended the teacher training college. It was one of the few institutions providing advanced education to women at that time. Upon graduating, she worked as a teacher. Then, at the age of 28, she became the first woman to be admitted to the Faculty of Medicine in Port-au-Prince at the University of Haiti. This achievement was not merely symbolic. At the time, Haiti faced severe shortages of trained medical professionals, particularly in maternal and pediatric care, fields critical to population health and long-term societal stability. Sylvain specialized in obstetrics and gynecology, a discipline directly concerned with pregnancy, childbirth, and women's reproductive health, placing her work at the biological foundation of generational continuity. After receiving her medical degree in 1940, she was awarded a scholarship from the Inter-American Health Bureau, which enabled her to intern at Columbia University Medical School. She then received the Pan American Sanitary Bureau Fellowship, which allowed her to work at the New York Postgraduate Medical School Hospital. After her post in New York, she returned to Haiti to practice medicine, likely aware that institutional support was limited and unevenly distributed. Around the year 1953, Sylvain became a professor at the Faculty of Medicine, where she trained future generations of Haitian physicians. As an educator, she understood that medicine could not function as an isolated intervention and, as a result, published many papers in medical journals. For Sylvain, training doctors locally was essential for sustaining health systems beyond individual careers or foreign aid cycles. Sylvain worked at the General Hospital in Port-au-Prince, and she notes in a 1955 article that her deepest passion in medicine was addressing overpopulation, sterility, and cancer. She stated, quote, "We must have deep X-ray and radium. We must not let these people die for lack of treatment. And this is my dream. This must come to Haiti," unquote. Her professional life coincided with an era in which Haiti's institutions struggled to maintain continuity. And though the end of the U.S. occupation in 1934 restored formal sovereignty, political instability and authoritarian governance continued and still continues to interrupt long-term planning and public investment. Health and education systems, in particular, suffer from chronic underfunding and administrative disruption. Sylvain's career illustrates a crucial point. Haiti did not lack expertise. It did not lack educated professionals capable of building systems. What it repeatedly lacked was the ability to protect and sustain those systems over time. Political instability, economic constraint, and external interference make continuity fragile. And this fragility became especially apparent during the latter half of the 20th century. The Duvalier regimes, beginning in 1957, imposed authoritarian control that suppressed civil institutions, including universities and professional organizations, undermining independent education and research. While overt conflict was limited during parts of this period, repression replaced institutional resilience, creating a form of stability that did not support knowledge transmission or public trust. Thus, during the Duvalier dictatorship, Sylvain spent time away from Haiti, working as a public health delegate, specializing in genetic health for the World Health Organization. Furthermore, she shared her medical expertise with various African countries, including Senegal, and worked as a clinician in Costa Rica. She also participated in the Haitian League Against Cancer and in the introduction of the Pap smear test for cervical cancer screening in Haiti. Finally, she is also recognized for having laid the groundwork for the founding of the Frères Haitian Community Hospital, the HCH, where she served as active vice president until her death. Sylvain became a prominent advocate for women's education, maternal health, and child welfare, arguing that these were not secondary concerns but core requirements for national development. Her advocacy was grounded in medicine and public health, not ideology. She knew that healthy pregnancies reduce maternal and infant mortality, that early childhood health affects cognitive development, and that preventative care lowers long-term health costs. As a medical scientist, she fully understood that these relationships are well established in population health science and had seen this in Haiti's own communities. Sylvain continued her work through much of this era, embodying a model of professional persistence under adverse conditions. She died in 1989, shortly after the fall of dictator Jean-Claude Duvalier, at a moment when Haiti once again faced the challenge of rebuilding institutions without the benefit of long-term stability. Her life shows us Haiti not as a place devoid of scientific or educational foundations, but as a society where those foundations are repeatedly disrupted. Education and health systems require time to compound. When they are disrupted, generation after generation, the effects are cumulative. What happens in Haiti is not unique. Around the world, wherever health and education infrastructures weaken, similar patterns emerge: increased vulnerability, reduced trust, and shortened planning horizons. Haiti offers a clear and painful case of what happens when those foundations are repeatedly dismantled. The story of Dr. Yvonne Sylvain reminds us that the capacity to build has always existed. The question is whether societies and the global systems around them will allow that capacity to endure. Dr. Yvonne Sylvain did not build her life around spectacle. She built it around systems. She treated women, trained physicians, pushed for cancer screening, and insisted that Haiti deserved the same standard of care as any nation that called itself modern. Her work made a quiet promise that health and education could become sturdy enough to outlast any single administration, any single crisis, and any single lifetime. But Haiti's story has also shown how brutally hard it is for those foundations to compound when institutions are disrupted again and again. That is why today's numbers feel so devastating. UNICEF reported in October 2025 that the number of children displaced by violence had nearly doubled to around 680,000, and that millions of people, including millions of children, needed humanitarian assistance. So I want to close with 3 takeaways to hold on to. First, healthcare and education are not extras. They are the load-bearing beams of a society, and when they crack, everything else becomes harder to stabilize. Second, expertise has existed in Haiti for generations. Haiti has never lacked brilliance or commitment. Haiti has lacked protection for the systems that allow brilliance to keep multiplying. Third, stories are not charity, but they can be a form of infrastructure. When we amplify the people building clinics, supporting schools, and protecting mothers and children, we help create continuity. That is exactly why I participated in Podcasthon this year and why I wanted to introduce you to Espwa Means Hope. Thank you for listening to Flashcard Friday. If Dr. Sylvain's story stayed with you, I invite you to share this episode and then go back to Tuesday's episode and listen to my interview with Angie Maldonado to hear what building continuity looks like right now on the ground in the lives of real families. Until next time, carpe diem, my friends.